I'm giving you all is something useful, and I believe that in this journey as a human being, whatever little we can give, we just give it. And the journey is all about giving and not taking. So in my journey, I want to give as much as possible in whatever little ways we can. And as Madam Lee said, it was out of the blue. Suddenly I just decided, okay, let me talk about free radical damage and an antioxidant. I really didn't know what I'm going to speak, but today morning I sat down for almost 3-4 hours and then prepared the slide. So I hope that this will bring in a lot of awareness among you, and the best possible information would be is that how terahertz water can assist us. See, ultimately I would like to correlate everything to the terahertz water for the reason that there are a lot of link between the terahertz resonated water and the diseases and the situations which we are all going through. So in that way, the free radical damage also we can prevent to an extent where we should be able to prevent further complication of the diseases by just consuming this water. We should be able to move forward and at least give good health. Instead of drinking a normal water, at least drink a terahertz resonated water, which can definitely assist you in many ways. And in that way, today's topic is going to be a little interesting. So let's move on. And of course, I don't want to repeat, being in the preventive healthcare and in the epigenetic, we work at the cellular level, and that's how even terahertz water, which works at the cellular level, it's much more easier for us to understand. Now let's get into the free radical. Now anything free, you would have seen, of course we human beings are a little crazy on this, especially when you're getting freebies, and definitely we all run. But in that way, I would say free radical also, it's a free radical which is available and which happens because of some certain process which is happening inside our body. So we are more concentrating on the free radical damage within us. But if you are looking at free radical damage happening outside, the best example everywhere in the world they would give you is, you cut open the apple, in next few minutes you will see there is a brown color coating on the cut apple there. So that means there is oxidation happening there. So in that way, what is very simple, I think most of you would be knowing that it is a molecule with one or more unpaired electrons in its outer shell, and it's called a free radical. So what's happening is, as you see on the right side, is basically these guys are they are deficient of those energy, and they just come and swindle this particular one oxygen molecule, and they will go and comfortably keep it for themselves because they don't have one. And so what's happening is, by doing this, your normal cells, which is supposed to have a paired electron, doesn't have a paired electron. So your healthy cell should have a paired electron. Anything in pair is something beautiful, isn't it? That's why you see on this planet Earth also, a man and a woman gets married. It's a pair actually. So many things in life also is all in pair, and which has a beautiful synchronicity, which is what is all this universe all about. And of course the Chinese have the yin and the yang, and we have the energies which is masculine and the feminine. So is always in pair, and the moment in among the pair one is taken out, that's where you get the free radical damage, or because you lose that particular one electron from your cell, the cell starts having some issues down there. Now when you look at basically free radical damage, it can be caused by within and from outside. Now within, I mean endogenous, that's the second one. When you talk about exogenous, is basically outside. Now you see the dust, the garbage down there, it's outside there, right? Now of course it has got a lot of health hazards, and if you look at this guy's lying down there, the sun rays, actually it's a exogenous. That means from outside, definitely the sun rays, especially with a lot of pollution outside, when it penetrates and comes and hits, we will be facing a free radical release, and then there will be a damage which is caused because of that particular sun rays coming and falling on you. But there is something endogenous. That means what you see in this house is totally it's full of garbage. Now do you think you can go and live in that kind of house? Definitely we won't be able to, because it's It's too much of a clutter and too much of the garbage down there. We can't live. In the same way, if you can understand that if you have a lot of endogenous free radical damage, that is when you will face some situations or a disease in your journey of life, and which you may not even recognize that you had that disease, because out of the blues you would have gone to a doctor and the doctor will say you have a cancer stage 4, you have blood pressure, you have a stroke situation, or whatever the disease situation. They will suddenly give you an information which for you will be very very shocking. But what's happening is there is a lot of situation your body would give you some kind of signals to you, in terms of either you put on a little weight, a little uneasiness, a sleep being disturbed, your bowel movements, especially if you are talking about colon cancer, your bowel movements will be a little changed, your urine might be a little frothy, your sleep might be a little disturbed, you may have a lot of skin allergies. Now these are all situations your body is telling you something, that there is something not right in myself, so can you look into it? But we guys are so busy in our journey of life that we have no time. Either we go to a doctor, and then just imagine if the doctor is busy, you can't even wait there sitting down to you to see the doctor. Either we run away and come back saying that the doctor has so many patients, I can't sit down there, or maybe you feel the appointment, you can't waste your time there. But at the end of the day, you will be the loser, for the reason is you have not taken the required time for your own self, for your body. When the body is telling you something, you better take measures and see to that you go attend to that particular whatever symptoms you have. But many times what will happen is, this is also another situation which you all would face, is you would go to the doctor and they will do a scanning, they will do a probably a blood test, x-rays, and basic investigation they would have done, and what they will say is everything is fine, you are okay. But everything is fine, okay, and then finally after 1 week you still, well, a person can get a heart attack. Now on this, so on this note, what I would say is, whatever the medical fraternity has done to you is correct. Okay, that means they have picked up the situation at the third level of your disease state, and then from there they will tell you yes, you are fine. But that is not that is not the real indicator of your health. The real indicator of your health is, you have to go inside and then see at the cellular level, you have to see the metabolism, what's happening, you have to see what exactly is the deficiency, you have to see what exactly is a poison coming inside your body. You need to look into it. Now when you're talking about the exogenous free radicals which causes you the damage, uh, you cannot prevent the outside pollution, you cannot prevent the sun ray coming and hitting you, that pollution also you cannot, that rays you cannot prevent, the radiation outside, that also you cannot prevent. Now the viruses which is going outside in your in your environment, as of now with our Omicron and the COVID-19, it's given enough of situation for our human beings to learn a lesson as to what you need to do. The only thing you need to do is, you definitely can't change the external factors, but you can change the internal factors. The internal factor is basically will depend on your day-to-day lifestyle, your basic food habits, your thinking pattern, what kind of mindset are you having, then how much of water are you drinking, what kind of water are you drinking, and what kind of food do you prefer? Is it the canned food, tinned food, or ready-made food which is available outside, you are eating that kind of food, or you prefer to have fresh vegetables and fruits, and you cook your own food and eat like this? It all depends on exactly what you do. But there can be 1 or 2% of the people who have done everything, like right from organic food to the exercise, everything they do, but finally when they are in the 60s or 70s, the doctor will say you have cancer. So of course it is a pleasant surprise for them, that how can I get that, because they have done everything in the best of their ability to take care of the body, but still they suffer from that particular situation. I think this is all beyond a human comprehension, and maybe in my terminology we may put, probably it is a karma you have, or maybe that is a fate. So you have to go through it, you have to face it. So you should understand that we have the external factors and the internal factors. External many a times you will not be able to handle, but the internal factors, to an extent you can definitely handle it, because the food you eat is you are responsible for it. So you should know what are you the water what you are drinking, you are responsible for it. How much of water are you drinking, you are responsible for it. Sleep, how many hours do you sleep, have a rest for yourself, depends on you. How is your mindset, depends on you. How is your breathing day to day, it depends on you. Like that, there are so many factors, it depends on you individually. So if you can work on those areas where you need to work to make yourself optimized, I'm not talking about fully healthy lifestyle, I'm talking about optimized lifestyle wherein you be on the healthier side. But in spite of being all this, if you still face a disease situation, we will face it. So what, it's okay. It's like, you buy a car for 1 million. Does the car company, just because you paid 1 million and bought the car, do they say that okay fine, you paid 1 million, the car will never have breakdown, the car will never have any problem? No, isn't it? Even a 1 million car, you still have to go for servicing, you still have to face situations where you definitely need to go for repairs. It is a situation. So in that way, we human beings are no way different. We are also would be facing the same situation. Now when you look at the exogenous, I'm just putting a little more easier picture so that you understand what we are talking. The air pollution from the automobile exhaust and the fumes, the ultraviolet, the microwave, the radiations, X-rays, gamma rays from the environment, smoking. Now you imagine, even though smoking, there are two things. One is a person who is smoking, another one is a passive smoker, wherein he inhales the smoke what another person has left out. Now you just imagine, if you are a smoker and then you are leaving the smoke in the environment, have you ever thought of it, how much of damage you are not only causing for yourself, but definitely you are causing problem for the other people also. But do you think the people who are all outside, who are all smoking, do have that kind of little bit of humility, a little bit of human nature, that no, they are not supposed to smoke? But it's a fashion, especially among the youngsters. If you see, it's a fashion for them. Holding a cigarette in the hand is a big deal for them, and they don't understand that they are not only causing a problem to them. Now that is one of the dangers, especially for free radical damage, which they are creating. Of course, you are talking about volcanoes, fire activity, water pollution. Now in Malaysia, definitely you are not getting a clean potable drinking water, definitely not. Now in that way, what happens? Yesterday I had one particular patient, and this patient was telling that she actually collects the water directly from the tap water, and she just boils it and she has been drinking. Now can you believe that when I did the cellular testing, I found that there is a little bit of kidney issues which she is facing now, but she doesn't have any symptoms, and she says, I'm okay doctor, I have no issues. I said, yeah, it is okay, but for her to really see the kidney issues, it's going to take another probably 1 year's time or 2 years time. Then only the blood will show her that she has some kidney issues. But now why is this problem? Now many of us think that just because we are boiling water and drinking the boiled water, we think that we are doing a great favor to our body by correcting the unfiltered water. But mind you, the unfiltered water, can you believe that there are a lot of iron content in it? There is a lot of iron content in it. Now maybe the organisms, whatever you get in the water, if you boil it, of course the organisms will die. How about the heavy metals which is there inside the water? Pesticides, just by boiling things won't work. So in that way, what is happening is, just by boiling you are not. So you need to look at a proper filtration system, whoever it is. Please invest a little bit of money and buy a good filter to be put outside your house, and then one filter. Maybe you might have to spend around probably around 1000 to 2000, but even if that money is still not available, let me tell, for 200 ringgit, the Panasonic is still available. The simplest water filtration candle system is available. Just buy that and invest on that, and then at least collect the water from that. I think to an extent you will be able to, give a favorable situation for your body. But at the end of the day, can you see the diagonally opposite, smoking and alcohol? They go hand in hand. Now, anybody who wants to drink alcohol, they will have cigarette in their hand. That is a natural. Along with alcohol, do you think the people will keep quiet? Definitely, there will be a non-veg in their plate and a lot of fried items. Now, if you look at, if you're going to eat a lot of fried items, that is also going to cause a lot of free radical damage. Now, whether you believe it, whether you understand, whether you don't understand, let me tell you, there are a lot of things happening inside you by eating all this. Now, especially when you go to a restaurant, you think the restaurant guy is going to spend, buy a coconut oil, or which is going to cost him around 40 to 50 ringgits per liter, and then he cooks or fries your chicken with that coconut oil? No way. But do you think that he is going to use what is that, olive oil? No way. Do you think he's going to do it in ghee? No way. Do you think he's going to do it in the bran oil? No way. Or grapeseed oil? No way. Now, then what is he going to do? He is definitely going to buy a cheaper recycled oil and then use it. Most of the restaurants do that. Now, at the end of the day, whatever it is, that's the way things are going on. We won't be able to avoid it. But for you, what you need to understand is, if you can avoid to an extent the free radical damaged products, it's already damaged. Now you are going to consume that, definitely it is going to be a problem. So when it comes up to the external factors, okay, when you are looking at the automobile industries, now people are going in for the electric cars, basically, for bringing down the pollution. I would say definitely we all need to look at electric cars, electric motorcycles. This would probably help the environment, as well as the pollution can be brought down. And a lot of countries which are developed, they are already switched over to the bicycles, and they are already switched over to electric cars and motorcycles. If you look at in Asia, I do not know when is that situation will happen where we all will start using only electric cars, electric motorbikes, and reduce the pollution there. But let's see, whatever little possible, we will do it, whatever little ways we can do. Now, when you look at this particular slide, it is both true inside and outside damages. Now, inside, if you look at, definitely there are a lot of situations like from the diseases, from heavy metals, which causes inflammation in the mitochondria. Ischemia is basically a heart attack, and of course outside I've already spoken about, and that is, now what is it happening is, definitely these two are giving you a protein damage. Now on the other side you see a lipid damage. Now what exactly they are talking about, the lipid damage is your cell, every cell has got a beautiful lining outside, which is contains the lipids. Lipid is your fat, all right, you can have call it as a good fat, which is around your cell. Now over a period of time, when you are exposed to this free radical damage or the free radicals, what happens is this outer cell wall will lose its plasticity or its flexibility and become more rigid. Now if the cell wall is rigid, how do you think the cell wall will allow the water to go inside or the nutrition to go inside? And then how will the waste products be thrown out? All this is going to be a problem. Now on one side, this particular situation, the protein damage. Now every cell needs a protein. Every food what you eat finally will be converted into that little bit of protein, and it will be in the form of energy, and then that's what your cell utilizes. But from the cell wall to the protein, finally what will happen is, you see on the left top side, I have written there, it's as a DNA damage. Now DNA damage is basically you are trying to know that your basic write up, this is basically like your hard disk. This is like your black box, what normally they keep in your flight recorder, it's something like that. Now just imagine you are a very young man who is still not married, and then you have a lot of free radical damage. What do you think your DNA will happen? Definitely DNA also will be damaged, and then there will be some wrong error information which is there inside the DNA is stored in. Now you get married, and then your wife also has some situation wherein a lot of free radical damage is happening, and there is a damage to the DNA. Now you won't know that you have a DNA damage, isn't it? Not, of course we won't go and see what exactly each cell of your body has DNA damage or not. We can't do that because the amount of number of cells are all in millions, so we won't be able to see that. But when will you see this? The moment you have your child, if it is child is born normal, you feel happy. But if the child is born with a little bit of physical challenges or mental challenges, that is when the real problem starts. Now what are you going to do? You can't do anything, it's already done. Now imagine you have a physically challenged child, and then all through your life you are going to earn money, spend to the doctors to keep your child alive. Now there is only one thing you will keep. You want to keep your child alive. What are you going to do? You will definitely work hard to see to that you want to give the best to your child. It's beautiful, I totally agree with you. But what is happening? Why didn't you take care of yourself when right from your young age? If you all can have a proper mindset, proper eating habits, proper nutrition, proper drinking water facilities, these are all simple things. In fact, in my clinic, whenever I sit and see my patients, the first question when I ask the youngsters, do you go for exercise? The first thing say, no time, doctor. No time, doctor. I feel so sad, It is like you are committing suicide on your own. It's only thing, it's a slow poisoning, like arsenic poisoning. You will die slowly, that's it. Now, if you die also, it's still okay, but you are not going to die just like that. You will have problems in the term in form of diseases. Now, don't think that just because you have an insurance for coverage for you that you will allow any disease to come inside. How many of you will say, yes doc, I have insurance, I have no problem, let me get any disease, I will face it? No, definitely you don't want to have a disease. Heart of heart, you don't want to have a disease, but what are you doing then? What are the efforts are you putting? You're doing all the things which is not going to work for you when it comes up to diseases. It is not going to help you. But if you're going to take care of yourself, especially the free radical damage, which we can prevent to an extent where it is possible by you in your hands, please do it. You can, like for example, you want to avoid alcohol, you want to avoid smoking, all these are all basic things you can do. Of course, if you are looking at, you want to buy a vehicle, look in for a vehicle with a battery operated. Why not? We should start it right away. If we can do all this right now, definitely in the long run, at least your contribution to this society, to this universe, to this environment, it will be a little help for the environment. And it goes a long way. You will feel very happy that what you did was good. So look into the damage. Once it's your DNA is damaged, definitely there are wrong informations. And okay, on one side you're talking, I spoke about your children getting physically challenged, right? Now forget that. You're okay, you're everything fine, you're married, everything is fine, good, right? Now the DNA damage is happening within you. Now what if you get a disease? Maybe a cancer, maybe a heart attack, maybe a stroke. What are you going to do? I recently had one beautiful soul, and just 38 years old, and this beautiful soul came to me because after visiting a hospital, now his problem was he was telling the doctors that he is having something like numbness and feeling on one side little weak. But in 1 week's time, they said all okay, and he said they sent him back. They sent him back, putting him the blood pressure medication. Once he took the blood pressure medication, he developed a stroke, something like paralysis on one side. But the crazy part of his paralysis, or the one side paralysis, was he will be paralyzed for 4 hours to 5 hours. He can't speak, he can't use one side of his body for 4 to 5 hours. Then after 5 hours, everything will be recovered, then he'll be okay, then he'll be moving around normal. Can you believe? In my whole medical history, it was such a crazy thing happening. Hey, what's happening? But finally he went back to the hospital, and then they did an MRI. They found that his main vessel in his brain was almost full of plaque, and then there was no proper blood supply. And that's how, when he was taking the blood pressure medication, his pressure used to go down, and then he used to have a stroke like symptoms, which was only partial. Now like this, for a 38-year-old man, now after putting him on treatment, now he is okay. But these are all challenges for me to handle such kind of cases. But what I would request is, when you're young, when you're in your prime of your age, earning well, start looking at taking care of your health, in terms of breathing, in terms of going for exercise, in terms of choosing what kind of food you. Like many times when I see people, I'll tell them what kind of filtration system you have. They'll say nothing la doctor, one simple Cove or whatever, the cuckoo, everything. They will say that they have a filtration system. Then I say, you are drinking water, yes. Then when I do the blood test and show them that your blood hydration is absolutely not there, of course they will say I am using the very high quality, high everything high. But what is happening there? Absolutely. Now there are two situations. Maybe the water is good, but these guys are not drinking sufficient amount of water. That's another possibility. Another possibility is maybe the water, whatever they are drinking, is good, but just a good filtered water. But hydration wise, it is not working for them. Now, what's happening is, of course, by the moment we say that the pricing of this beautiful instrument is around 4,800 ringgits, they feel it's very expensive. But what I ask them is very simple. Of course, it's your choice. Of course, I totally respect their decision. But what I normally ask them is, do you own a house? Yes, they say yes, they own a house. But then the next question I ask, how much you bought it for? Nothing less than 300 to 400,000 or half a million. It's nothing less than that. Then I ask them, when you invested 300,000, where can your house come and help you to give you good health? Then one person immediately replied, Doctor, I go sleep there only, doctor. I feel very nice going and sleeping in your home. Yes, I say, I salute you. Of course, you have a beautiful, cozy home. It's fine. But then my next question is, do you think that you cannot, do you know that there are a lot of people sleeping on the streets down there? They are also human beings. So if given an option that, like the recent floods, you don't have any place to live and the government has given you one big hall, you just go and sleep down there. Of course, you did go and sleep there, but so here what happened? Your 300,000 or 400,000 home has not helped you to keep you healthy. But yes, definitely from protection from rain, all this I totally agree. But my enlightening message to them is, it's beautiful, but spending 4,500 or 4,000 or 5,000 ringgits for an instrument where there is going to be a benefit in terms of the quality of water, the usage of those beautiful molecules of water to your body. There are so many multiple benefits you have. So why shouldn't you invest in that? It should be a priority. But of course, in our life, when you look at the priority, it differs among different people. And but I would request every one of you, look into your health first, which is very important. Now, in this picture, what you see is when there is a free radical damage, what happens, or you can call it as an oxidative stress, your tomatoes also get squeezed up into a totally dry and cannot be used. In the same way, when your normal cells are attacked by the free radicals, what will happen is your cell death happens. It's under oxidative stress. We call it as an oxidative stress. Now, when there is an oxidative stress, it is looking for an extra what's that? The electron, which has been stolen by these free radical guys. Now this is where you need to understand that when you are consuming food, a lot of greens, a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruit juices, and you are visiting a lot of beautiful natural places like your waterfall, riverside, seaside, these are all something like an antioxidant. The food like broccoli, all these are all we need to look into, that it gives something, some extra electron or ions to your cell so that it can survive. Now you just imagine, just visualize that you are having a cell oxidative stress and your cells are dying, right? Now do you know which cell is dying and which cell can rejuvenate back? We do not know. It's only a permutation and a combination, or it's like a gambling. You take antioxidant, then probably it has to go inside, and then whichever cell picks it up, lucky draw, they will survive. But at the end of the day, we human beings, one day we will all die on this planet. This is guaranteed. Whether you take good antioxidant, whether you take care of your full health, it's all fine. One day you will leave this beautiful mortal body and you have to get out of this place. You have to do that. But at least, can we do something? There are a lot of good things what you can do for your own body. Now, what are the diseases? As Madam Lee was telling down there, of course there are a lot of you can list any disease can be correlated with your free radical damage, and it can be a genetic or whatever it is. But you can face a early anti-aging, early cancer. You can get a heart attack, your diabetes, skin issues. It's all free radical damage. Now what's happening is when there are a lot of heavy metals, like your lead, your aluminum, your cadmium, your mercury, arsenic poisoning. When these metals are inside your body, it will go inside the liver, and then your liver tries to metabolize it and throw it out, but it won't be able to. What happens is it releases back into the bloodstream, and suddenly you will see in your skin you will start feeling itchy. This is how things will happen. There are sometimes you will notice that, especially women down there, probably you might see a lot of pimples down on your face. Now why does pimple come? Of course, in a common slang language, what we will say is your body is heaty, probably your immune system is low if there is an infection. But on one side, if you see, if your body is acidic, let me tell you, if your body is acidic, you need, the only thing you all can do is, if you can check your pH of your blood, you will know it's acidic or what. But other than that, if you check your uric acid, if your uric acid is borderline or above, minimum 300 or above, that means your uric acid level is slightly on the higher side. If your uric acid is on the higher side, it will definitely cause a little bit of oxidative stress to your joints, to your cells. It will happen. Now what happens to you is, you may feel a little bit of joint pain, small joint pains or bigger joints, but most of the time it will be small joints. When you're getting a small joint pain, what you will do as an youngster, maybe you're a 30-year-old boy and you're having a little bit of joint pain, maybe you'll say, okay, some issue is there, and you will still start working and going. And maybe if the pain is very severe, swelling is there, you will immediately go to a doctor, and doctor immediately will say, yeah, this is gout. Right? Now high uric acid, of course they will label it as gout. Now what is the next treatment? Of course they will try to bring down your gout situation by giving you medication, but is that the solution? No. The reason is, if you are going to eat all the fried foods and all the fried items from a restaurant or outside fried food, what will happen? Definitely you are exposed to the free radical damage. Definitely your uric acid will be very high. And if you are a person eating lots of kachang, groundnuts, something like that, definitely that also is an indication your uric acid will. So please do check your uric acid level. But the good news is, if you are drinking Terahertz water, it will definitely help you to bring down your uric acid level. But a word of caution, I do have seen people having high uric acid and they are all drinking Terahertz water, is one or two people, and their uric acid never came down. So probably it's something to do with genetics, or maybe something which we really don't know. We as human beings are redundant in our brain, so maybe we really don't know. But I would say, in a general population, if you're looking at Terahertz water, definitely it helps. If you are having a high uric acid, it definitely helps you. Now if you are looking at the diseases caused by the free radical damage, I already listed in the previous page, but here once again, if you look at, there are a lot of situations. Now once there is a damage down there, free radical damage is happening, these guys won't keep quiet. Automatically, the moment the cell has lost its electron, and definitely it needs an electron, so unless you compensate your body with good amount of antioxidants, then only you will be able to at least manage a little bit and move forward, at least prevent. But if your body is already under oxidative stress, and then there are some symptoms you are having in terms of high cholesterol, in terms of mild chest pain, and you go check, the doctor says everything is okay, but there is something inside happening. So this is where, when you're looking at the hair analysis, when we do a hair analysis, definitely we'll be able to pick up and let you know exactly what is going to happen. And definitely when you're looking at this already slide, you had seen before, but here why I put is for you to understand that if your cell hydration is good. Now terahertz, we already have been showing people that 1 drop of blood will be able to show you the hydration of your cells. So if your cells are well hydrated with terahertz water, definitely it can prevent free radical damage. This is a clear message I want to give you. It definitely will be able to protect you from a free radical damage. And one of the most beautiful thing, what I think every one of you down there would have seen, our George Neo, what does he do? He will have a spray, and then something like this, and what he will do, he'll go on spraying around and round and round and round. He'll be doing this very frequently. Now what is the good news is, that particular water, when he puts it on his face, what happens is, this Terahertz water is there on the face surface, then your cells inside gets absorbed, it absorbs the water. Now any kind of the free radical damage, either it's a pollution or it's a sun rays, when it comes on touches here, your cell is already ready with the terahertz water down there. So what happens, it can fight down there and then clear it up and then detox it and then clear it up. So there is a good news down there. So of course, if you're looking at a lot of young women there who want to look more beautiful, you need to spray this water as frequently as possible. And then of course, if you want to take bath in this beautiful water, why not? It should be considered. Why not? Probably in the future, maybe the company can consider us to fix a unit where we fix it near our shower, and then you just on it, then you get terahertz bathing. I think it will be the world's first terahertz water bathing. That will be something beautiful. I don't know if anybody is listening, or probably should convey the message to the company down there looking to manufacturing a terahertz device for the bathing. Will be definitely a good point to be noted. Now, at the end of the day, your cellular health is the key for your health. How do you know that your cellular health? Can you do a blood test and then tell about cellular? No way. Like today morning, I saw one particular posting. One of my known acquaintance, he just put, I went to the doctor, and he has put the photograph of all the cardiology department, and then he said, I did every test, and then all the tests, the doctor said everything is okay. Then I sent him a message saying, sorry sir, don't get excited. What they have told you is right for now. In the third level, you don't have any problem. It's still okay. But don't be happy unless you go and check your hair and analyze it, and then know if everything is okay down there, then fine. Then it's good for you. But just checking your blood test is not enough. We need to go a little more deeper. If everything is fine, just go a little more deeper, find out. So in that way, we do have the epigenetic hair analysis, we have microcirculation check, and we can do a bioresonance quantum analysis where we can do at the cellular. So basically, you need to get into the cell at least once in a year. Get your cellular check done. At least you know where you stand, and from there, whatever changes you want to do, please look into it and then do it. We are not here talking about see, many times whether they get hair analysis or whatever testing for the cellular done or not, everybody is still living out there. They are all still living. The only thing I look into is, once the problem comes in, they will jump in and come down. Now once you jump in and come down also, I can't help you for the reason uh, whatever advice I give you, for you to execute those advices also will be difficult, because you need to spend some money for, in terms of buying those special it can be antioxidants, it can be a supportive nutraceuticals. You need to spend some money. But most of us, what will happen is, we think 100 times, especially when we want to spend money for our own self. We will be thinking 100 times, because we want to save money, keep it in the bank. We want to buy a building, leave the building. But at the end of the day, health wise, what do? We want someone else to pay in terms of insurance. If they pay for buying our vitamins, it's still okay. Now come what may, look into your cellular health. How do you prevent the free radical damage? Number one, you need to detox yourself regularly. How do you detox yourself regularly? Please get into fasting mode. Weekly once at least you can do a intermittent fasting, or you want to do a full day fasting. But the problem, many a times I hear this is, doctor, I have gastritis, I can't do, even I cannot miss one meal a day. My question is, what are you talking? Why you cannot do a fasting? It's such a simple procedure. And why? Because your mindset is already done. Every time you will talk about it by telling that I have gastritis, I have so you claim the disease. When you claim a disease, your body will sustain that particular disease with you only. It will never let it go out, because your mindset is already made it in such a way that the disease you're promoting, actually, in fact, you're a beautiful promoter of that particular disease. Like in normal circumstances, you will say, the people are very proudly saying, I have diabetes, I have blood pressure, I have I had a heart attack, I went for a bypass. Is it a proud thing being told? First of all, we human beings are supposed to be the sixth sense, most evolved, and supposed to be much better than animals. Animals are living a much more better life, having lesser diseases, and they are living a beautiful life, and they are exposed to all the whatever we are talking in the under the sun, but they still live and they move forward. But for human beings, we have a beautiful house, we have a hospital, we have the blood checking to be done, we have the hair analysis, all these we have, but still we cannot prevent the disease, because we are a little bit ignorant, and we are a little bit innocent in many ways, so that we don't pick up the signals what our body is giving you. Drink sufficient amount of Terahertz water, because definitely it can prevent free radical damage. And you would have seen the qualities of the water is, one of the qualities is it's an antioxidant. So good, isn't it? It can donate one molecule of electron, the oxygen molecule, to your body. Good enough what? So drink the water. Why not? So this is how the antioxidant effect of the water is done there. Eating more vegetables and fruits is another wonderful way of keeping yourself. But many times I notice that, especially people who are eating non-vegetarian, they can't give up eating non-vegetarian. But it's okay. I have no issues on that. But at least take more vegetables and fruits. It will help you to prevent your free radical damage. And at least as far as possible, if we can prevent or not go in for fried items, it's once in a while you want to eat. I totally, I'm with you, but do not make it as a regular day-to-day activity that you want to eat only oily food, fried items. Avoid it. And especially youngsters, very clear message is, if you want to be healthy after 50 years, you better look into it when you're in your 20s, 30s. Please take care of your health. Go for whatever the available resources. Look into it. Have a very, and eat more of vitamin A, C, D, E, K, and folic acid, selenium. These are all naturally available in our natural vegetables and fruits. Look into it. You just go to the Google doctor. The Google will give you all the food which is available for an antioxidant. It is already there. I don't need to list it down there. Take in a lot of high fiber diet. Now when I'm talking about high fiber, a lot of you would understand that, especially when you're a rice eater. We Asians are all rice eaters, okay? Looking for a brown rice. That is very good. Now when you cook a brown rice, and then if you can add 10 to 15 ml of virgin coconut oil after you cook it, and then mix it up in that cooked rice, and then when you eat, it's a fantastic antioxidant with high fiber. You will have a lot of good things in that, where even it can help your diabetes to come down. So do look into it. You have to remove all your canned, tinned food, packed food, all from your fridge or your shelf. You have to avoid it. But what to do? Today we all are used to it. Anything tinned food is more easier. All the preservatives are added. We have no issues in that. But once you get a disease, what do? You jump from pillar to post and go on looking for solution. And if I tell you from Singapore, please come to Malaysia, you will jump and come, because you want to get a cure. Now this is what is a human nature. But I would say, start now. When you know what is to the right track, the right food for you to, please look into it, and then start practicing the right methodology, the right timings of your food habits to be. And just because we have a fridge, can you believe this? You cook the food and put it inside the fridge, and then eat it every day for the next 4 to 5 days. How can that be a healthy food? Of course, we will have all the reasons under the sun. Sorry, doctor, we are working from morning until 10 o'clock. We don't have time. Yes, for whose sake are you working? For whose sake are you earning money? Either for your sake or family sake. It's all okay. But at the end of the day, are you very happy when you're at 50 years you get cancer? Is it okay with you? And whatever savings you have, you go and clear it up in your hospital by paying them. Is that okay? If that is okay, then okay, no problem. Then don't complain that when you're 50 plus, you have a disease, or you go through some situations where your body, especially arthritis, is another very common problem. You will not be able to climb the stairs. You will not be able to sit down. All this. Now, from where all this is happening is all inflammatory situation. It's all because of your food habits. So you need to look into it. As far as possible, prepare fresh food and eat it up. It's on a daily basis. Just imagine, go back 30, 40 years ago, what your grandparents were doing, what your great grandparents, they used to cook fresh food and eat what? Because those days there was no refrigerator, isn't it? They used to buy fresh vegetables and fruits, and then definitely cook and eat freshly every day. And they will never keep it for the next day, because they don't have a refrigerator. But today, because you have a refrigerator, what is happening? The most laziest thing we all do is put it in the fridge and take a little bit, and every day go on recook. And the worst part is, most of us, if you are having a microwave oven, let me tell you, that's the most dreaded thing you're doing. Your first thing is you're putting your food in the refrigerator. The second mistake you're doing is taking it and heating it in your microwave. These are all micro. It's all micro, Whatever damages it is happening is all in the micro level. You can't even see it, but you're poisoning yourself and then creating a problem. And once the problem comes in, you have to face it. So you say, thank you so much, God, you gave me this problem. I'm ready to face it because I was negligent. I was ignorant that time. Now I'm facing it. I will face it. How many of us will do that? Most of us will be blaming God. Most of us will be blaming everything under the sun except ourselves. So as I told you before, sources of antioxidant, it's already there in the Google. So you can just go there, pick up all the resources and then see whatever best possible can be, please eat. Now can you see one thing totally it is not there, the missing down in the source of antioxidant? Can you show me any one plate down there which is having your non-vegetarian down there, either a meat or a fish or show me the antioxidant down there? It's not there, isn't it? So by nature itself, an antioxidant is all vegetarian. So basically, your food, which is more of vegetables and fruits, is good for you. So as long as you are 70% vegetarian, you are still able to survive. 30% non-vegetarian is no issues. You still can, but still, nobody can guarantee just because you're taking 30% whether it is safe for you to move forward without any disease. We do not know, but it's okay. But at least 70% you are taking vegetarian food. So once again, coming back, what is happening, just to give you a clear information, ideal drinking water must be drinkable, basically drinkable with 7.4 to 8 pH, total dissolved solvents between 50 to 200, but maximum WHO accepts is around 500. ORP is the oxidation reduction potential. Okay, now here the one molecule of oxygen can be donated if your ORP is minus. If it's minus 200 like ORP, what will happen is it can donate one. So the more the ORP, the more beneficial for you. So in the same way, if you are looking at alkaline water, definitely it has more ORP. That's why you see a lot of people talking about when you drink alkaline water, your diseases gets healed. All fine, very fine. But you need to know just how much of alkaline water you can drink for a long time and how long can you drink. All this you need to look into. Whereas terahertz has nothing to do with the alkalinity of the water. Whatever water you resonate, it will become. If you are resonating a 9.5 pH alkaline water, it will be resonated definitely. The molecule size will be very small, the pH will be the same, and of course when you drink that, it will be much more faster. So that means it will have a much more beautiful, good benefit. But are you supposed to have that benefit for a very long time? Because your body doesn't need so much of alkaline water for a very long time. So look into it, balance your water, especially when you're drinking high alkaline water. It must be clean from bacteria and free from bacteria, viruses and parasites. Should not contain any heavy metals and toxic metals and chemicals and pesticides. This is an ideal. Now definitely you will be looking at high and low for a ideal drinking water. So in that way, one of the most easiest thing what you can do is, simplest thing we can do is get into the, just 1 minute, the slide is not moving forward. I do not know why. It's basically, if you're looking at the ideal water, what I would say is you should the Terahertz water is good enough for us, and from there we should be able to consume it, and then we should get all the good benefits of drinking the Terahertz water. Definitely the antioxidant effect is there, the antibacterial effect is there, the antiviral effect is there, anti-radiation effect is there. Then the angulation of the water molecule is between 107 to 109. That is another good advantage. And definitely the DNA. I was showing you the DNA. This one, isn't it? So when I was talking to you about the DNA, definitely. Okay, now. Okay, now 2022, we have the Terahertz water. This is what is the water which most of us were looking at, and definitely it is a choice. And we do have this water with our in Malaysia, so it's good one. There are so many countries Terahertz the machine is still not available. So in that way, it is a resonating the water with Terahertz technology is the concept down here, and very easy, portable. And of course, when you look at the properties of Terahertz water, there are a lot of good properties which I already described. Low viscosity, then angulation, the absorption water is much higher, faster than the linear arrangement of the water, then it supports the telomere or the DNA and energy fields. And there are a lot of studies where they have done when you're looking at the water molecule with 7.83 terahertz. There are a lot of research done, and ours is 7.6. So definitely there is a lot of comparison you can do, that it is the same qualities our water is having. And main drinking Tera's water can reduce the oxidative stress in the cell. That is something very beautiful. So as long as you're going to drink water continuously for 3 to 6 months, you definitely can get the benefit out of it. Recently I met one beautiful man, a beautiful soul who had come for the gathering, leaders gathering in KL, and he came near me and he told me, "Doctor, can you believe my cataract is cleared? And can you believe I had a constipation that is also very clear? Now I feel so energetic." So now he is taken up this as a business, and then he is promoting this. Now what is happening is, by drinking this water, a lot of oxidative stress has come down. When the oxidative stress has come down, what will happen? Your cells become more healthier. Now along with drinking water, you all definitely have to eat a healthy diet. You need to have a healthy lifestyle. All this is there. Don't You can't bypass all that. It is a collective phenomena you need to do. So what is the main advantage of Terahertz is, of course, any filtered water can be resonated very easy. Yeah, and this water can be boiled, whereas an alkaline water cannot be boiled, and it can be put under pressure and X-ray. They have already tried it, and it can be kept in a glass container for more than 6 weeks. Of course, we have tried it for keeping it for 1 year, and we still the molecules are the same, and you can still drink the water. So the good news is that Terahertz water is there with us, and then a lot of stability is there with the water, and the only thing is we all need to drink the water. And of course we have wonderful souls like Frankie, Eddie, and these beautiful souls are doing a great job by organizing regular events down there, wherever possible. They have been traveling a lot, and then showing the people that there is something down here where you can see with the one blood test, and you can see your blood, and then of course see, ultimately either you buy the instrument or you buy the water. You have to do something, right? So it's still okay as long as you're going to drink water, Tera's water, collecting from your friend, buying it, or buying it and drinking. It's still okay, you can do that. So the message for every one of you is, take home message is, if you can avoid the free radical damage, is good for you. But we human beings, we have created enough of free radical damages externally, internally. We have already done it. Now it's high time that we need to work on a little bit of preventing diseases coming, or preventing the free radical damages happening, by consuming food with more of antioxidants. Means you should take more of vegetables and fruits. You need to change and then move forward. So you need to have more antioxidant rich food, and we all have to supply the extra electron at all times. It's not that you take this antioxidant for 2 to 3 weeks or 2 to 3 months and then you stop. It cannot. It has to be a regular supply, because every day there is a damage happening. Every day some cells are dying because of the oxidative stress. So you need to go on supplying a regular electron to the cellular level. And the easiest way is, on one side is, right now on this platform we are talking about Terahertz water. So it definitely supports your body. So with this, I think it's a beautiful journey. We all are working. Definitely this is not a medical device, it's very clear. And then, so we cannot claim that it can give you some cures by drinking this water. But on one side, yes, definitely there are a lot of people who have been benefited. The disease has been controlled. See, what I would say is, take out the disease and let's talk about free radical damage. If we can prevent the free radical damage, you can prevent certain diseases. If we can reverse the free radical damage, definitely you can reverse the diseases. If you can prevent the free radical damages happening, maybe in the future you can prevent the disease coming in. That's all, very simple. So in that way, drinking this water is good enough. Whether medical has to be approved, or anybody is going to approve or not, it's a thing which you can drink, and you don't need to take permission from anybody to drink a Terahertz resonated water, and you don't need an approval. The company has brought everything under its umbrella to give you all the certification, all the good benefits they have already bought. Your job is to just buy it and drink the water. So saying that, one of the best thing I would say is thank you very much, George. Thank you very much, Brian. Thank you, Madam Lee, and the host of beautiful souls who have attended this Sunday platform for the Terahertz Zoom. Thank you so much. You all did a good job. And saying so, be happy all the time, because happiness is it's basically like donating one free ride